cemetery towards the motorway, stopping to throw further grenades and firing a pistol at the crowd who were chasing him.
We could look over in the big grassy field, and there was the man who had launched the attack running. We learned later, of course, that it was Michael Stone, and he was running, stopping, turning around, and shooting, and you can hear the pop, pop, pop. He was stopping and shooting. He even stopped and threw another grenade or two, and the shrapnel injured people in the crowd. There were 60 people in that crowd that were injured.
This is Starr Radio UK.
And we watched as he ran down the hill to the motorway. I think he ran out of bullets, and they caught him and were hitting him. You could see that just when a police van arrived and I think rescued him. Meanwhile, the cemetery was, of course, emptying out, injured being taken away to hospitals and people leaving very quickly.
The attack killed 3 people and injured 60.
It was shocking that this was happening in a cemetery. I mean, the feeling, the people around there, I remember they're just saying, is nothing sacrosanct? Can we not bury our dead in peace? At that point, I wasn't all that upset about myself. I thought I had got knocked over and I was a little fuzzy from that, but other than that, I wasn't hurt and I had a job to do, and it became a very different story, and I needed to try to cover it. At that point, I decided, yes, I've got enough here. I need to get to a BBC studio where I was working to file my report for Washington, and I usually work pretty fast to selecting the tape cuts and writing a script, and I did all that, but it was hard. It was difficult. It took me way more than an hour. I finally got it done sort of in a dry format, because at that time we never put ourselves in the story, so I didn't put anything about that except that what had happened in a macro sense, in a bigger sense. I got it edited in Washington. They said, okay. I went into a studio and recorded it, and it was fed down the line to NPR in Washington.
About 10,000 mourners gathered today at the Catholic Milltown Cemetery in Belfast. Black flags and Irish flags were flying. The IRA was staging both a funeral and a political rally to show its support. To the IRA, these 3 members being buried today were unarmed heroes.
At this point, Bill says, the shock was starting to take effect.
British soldiers in Gibraltar. To the British,
it was really when I got back to the hotel, I just started shaking. It wasn't from the cold and the rain. I was just shaking from what had happened that day, and started thinking about it and realizing how close things had come. If the grenades had been thrown further or delayed longer, I don't know. It could have landed right in front of me. It could have landed right in the casket area. It could have been even more destructive. The sense that how close this had come and what I had really been a part of, and, a few things going differently, it could have come out very differently. The whole experience that so much was filmed about this. You can see pictures of it. You can watch it.
It's thought grenades were thrown or rolled towards the hearses and the center of the crowd where Sinn Féin leaders were standing. And at least one appears to have exploded on the edge of the crowd.
If you know exactly where to look, you can see where I'm sort of standing there.
An eyewitness takes up the story.
Everybody shouted to hit the deck.
Many people believed that this attack on a funeral was a turning point in the Troubles and may have helped.
This is Starr Radio UK.
That ended the violence.
Something that you would think would be inviolable was attacked. This was too much. It contributed to the sense of more and more people wanting something that would be better than that. That was maybe a low point. We know now, looking back, there was finally a Good Friday Agreement many years later.
From Great Britain. I'm Bill Busenberg in Belfast.
Bill Busenberg.
Hey, Charlie. You're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy. You stressed out. Tired? Go, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, Jane Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenating, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233 244 941 002 or 00233 2006 06386, and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamb Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of a prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Hi there, this is CJ Buckman, your life coach. And whenever I'm in London, I listen to Star Radio UK right here. But guess what? You can listen to wherever you are.
Body is your man. Bekutu, show them you got the cocoa set. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy Harry Song, aka Mr. Songs. This is the Kingmaker Baba for the girls. We're here. This is Star Radio. We don't go nowhere. UK, London. We call them London for home. For here, we call them London. And I sabi you know, just have fun and stay blessed.
The best radio show. Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
All around the world. In your car.
At work.
At home.
On your smartphone.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie, and it's a Star Radio UK and the morning show.
This is Starr Radio. This is
UK.
Starr Radio
UK.
This is Starr Radio
UK.
Welcome.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio. Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Okay, hello, let me say massive good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you, wherever you might be on planet Earth, and those of you on other planets as well. Let me salute each and every one of you and welcome you to the Monday edition of the morning show. This is Starr Radio UK, and this is the Monday edition of the morning show, as I've said, and I remain yours sincerely, the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Well, today is the third day of February, a new month. God has been good, right? He's kept us through the first month, took us through the first month, whatever the challenges, whatever the situation is or was, He managed to take us through that, and we are well and alive. You can count yourself blessed, of course. Maybe at times, we're thinking about something that we really need, and we are waiting. When we get those things, then we can count ourselves blessed. But you know what? I count myself blessed. The fact that I wake up every morning, I am well, I'm able to move around. Even if I'm not feeling that great, but I can still move around, I'm still alive. There is hope. There is hope. He said even a tree that has been cut, the trunk still has got hope. Because he knows that when the rain appears, there's a tendency that its roots or it will shoot up again and turn into a big tree that is supposed to be. So whatever the situation is, let me once again say welcome. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. This is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And let me take the opportunity to say good morning to my able producer, Mr. Francis Guy. Francis, I hope you are doing very well. Thank you very much. I say all the time, without him, I'll not be able to come on live because he sees to all the technical bits for me to just come and sit here and just start mouthing there, right? Good. Mr. Laimi Koiki, I know you're en route or en route. Yomi, good morning to you. I hope everything is going on well there. Just get in touch so that we know what exactly we are dealing with there. And let me say good morning also to Mr. Frank Davies, Mr. KB Bossman, and all presenters on Starr Radio UK. I salute each and every one of you. Also to the one and only HRH Linda Pallien, who will be joining us at 12 o'clock. Linda, massive good morning to you, all the way from Cyprus. Good morning to Yasantua, and Mr. Pallien as well. I salute each and every one of you. A special good morning also goes to, yes, Bishop Adeshina, all the way in Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria, the RBE office there, and all your colleagues, the staff there. I salute each and every one of you there as well. And let me take the opportunity to also say good morning to Anthony Adedeji, Aziz, Shamsuddin, all listeners or viewers of the on the various sister platforms, the Yoruba Nation platform, Koiki Media platform, and the United States of Biafra platforms, wherever you do listen to us from. I salute each and every one of you, and I say thank you very much. Do me a massive favor, take a next step further and share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones. Well, by way of program outline, for those of you who are tuning for the first time to listen to us on the Starr Radio UK morning show, this is how the program will go. I'm going to bring you the quote for the day, the weather forecast to follow suit, then the travel update. We'll move from there to have a look at some of the stories making the rounds across the globe. That is known as Global Trotting. Then after which we move on from there to look at some of the developments making the details of the development making the rounds. At the 11:45, we will open the lines for you to add your voice to the discussions, whatever. But meanwhile, while the program is going on, if you have got any comments or anything, you can put it on the platform that we are broadcasting on, or you can text it to me. It is 0753-966-1744, 0753-966-1744. Pretty soon I will activate the WhatsApp line again. Okay, and then we'll move on from there. Exactly at 12 o'clock, we'll bring the first part of the program to a close. I'll take you to Cyprus, where HRH Linda Pallien will be coming your way with Career 101. Okay, Then after that, we'll bring the curtains down for the end of the program. So in Nigeria, that's what's going to happen. But wherever you are, this is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's crack on. Let me say good morning to Eben. Yes, in South Africa, Cape Town to be specific. Kwame, I hope you are doing very, very well. To all the Hammond, to all our Betties, and to all our friends and loved ones here and abroad, wherever you might be, we salute each and every one of you. Let's kick off. All right, then. Comfort can always be found in discomfort. Comfort can always be found in discomfort. So the spelling alone, you take the this from there, you can get the comfort in there. So what is just trying to say that there is something in there. If you're feeling uncomfortable about something, there is some peace in there in the eye of the soul. Find it and you'll be able to move on. All right then. So that's by way of the code for the day. All right then. Now moving on straight to the weather front. It's a bit of mixed bag there for you, as Yomi will say. But let me tell you how the weather is going to be today for London and the southeastern part of England. You can, if you are wherever you are, you can let us know how it's been. Now this afternoon will remain dry, though cloud will spread in from the west through the day. Gentle to moderate winds. It's going to be mild. Now tonight there will be a mixture of variable amounts of cloud and clear intervals. It will continue to be dry and it will turn breezy with moderate winds. So the temperature is going to be 9 degrees. The low is going to be 5 degrees. UV level low, pollution low, and sunset 16:53. Sunrise for tomorrow morning 07:36 hours, and that brings us to the end of the weather forecast. Now moving on straight to the travels as well. So I will say keep your eyes on the roads, as keeping navigated, our promise, our bond. So what's happening on the travels this morning? On the underground this morning, those of you in London, well, apart from the Bakerloo line that is facing severe delays, all the others are running a good service. DLR, London Travelling and London Overground, good service there as well. On the major roads in London, that's the A roads, A40 and Central London Red routes are experiencing serious delays, so if you can avoid it, do your best to do so. The River Bus is running a good service. London Cable Car, good service, bringing us straight to the final segment, that is the National Rail. But continue to keep your eyes on the roads as we keep it navigated. So, on the National Rail this morning, Avanti West Coast has got special service, Gatwick Express special service, ScotRail special service, Southern special service, and Thameslink special service. And that's where I bring the travel update to a close there as well. We take a commercial. Once we come back, we continue with the show. So wherever you are, don't even think of touching the dial. This is Starr Radio UK, and this is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Hey, Charlie, you're on your way to Ghana. Boy, oh boy, you're stressed out, tired. Boy, you're going to be resting. Okay, then let me recommend to you JN Mobile Spa in Accra, Ghana. Oh boy, JN Mobile Spa, they provide organic care in massage. Are you stressed? Do you need rejuvenated, etc.? For your facials, maybe exfoliating, firming, and lifting? Then contact JN Spa on 00233244941 or 00233200606 and they will be right there on time. JN Mobile Spa, your health and beauty needs at your doorstep.
Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Everywhere you go, Afrobeat reggae dancehall taking over. Yo, what's up, people? This is a boy Raskin Bobo One. Tune in every day, every night at the Starr Radio UK with the big man them Archie. When I say Orta, you say fire.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's move on. Let me take you global. It's going to be a swift one, so please hold on to your horses. Oh, my apologies there. This will be making some noise in the background. My sincere apologies there. Okay, I think I've sorted it out now. My sincere apologies. for that noise in the background. Okay, all right then. Now let's go global trotting. So what is happening from across the globe? Yeah, starting from home here in the UK. Now school heads clash with Ofsted over bewildering new report cards. Now Ofsted scrapping its single word judgment for schools after the death of head teacher Ruth Perry. Well, now if Ofsted decides to, okay, let's take it easy from there. How is it all going to pan out for parents who are taking their work to school to see the real state of that particular school? It's going to be difficult, right? But we're going to talk more about that. Anthony Adedeji, once again, massive good morning to you, my brother. I hope you are doing very, very well. All right then. And then Keir Starmer, first UK Prime Minister to join EU meeting, says Brexit. Okay, so let's see what is happening. Trump's move is causing lots of other movements because you have to brace yourself. They say when your neighbor's beard is on fire, you get yourself water ready to dip your beer in it, so before it catches fire, because you don't know exactly what is going on. So threatening sanctions or imposing sanctions on Canada, Mexico, China, everybody is getting ready. Maybe he's going to do same to the UK, because he says UK and the EU are all whatever, but I think that UK can do something, so maybe it will just come out light on the UK, but still you have to do something, and that's what they are doing. So wherever you are, massive good morning to you. I hope you are all listening in. Positive start for Stormont, but more to do after first year, Northern Ireland leaders are saying. All right, now let's move on to other parts of the world as well. As I did say, Trump says U.S. tariffs on EU will happen, but tells BBC the UK deal could be worked out. What is he talking about? Even his own next door neighbors, his own people. I mean, Canada is part of the U.S. I say it honestly, Canada is virtually part of the U.S. But he's saying that, you know what? Well, the Canadians, they are allowing people to cross the border and then to the U.S. and are bringing fentanyl into the country. And then the Canadian Prime Minister Trudeau has come to debunk that. They say, yes, there is a less than 1% of the fentanyl that is coming into the U.S. coming from their side. And when it comes to crossing of the borders and stuff like that, virtually. But then he lined up the times and the support and the cordial relationship that they've had with the U.S. In the time past. But Trump is saying that it would be nice to have Canada as the 51st state. What do you think about that? That's why I asked the question, how are African leaders and the developing world, how are leaders preparing themselves for that? Those that is even having, let's say, it gets something big from them, he's placing sanction on them. Then what about we or African, where all that they are trying to do is just come, just take your raw materials and then what? Because even it's cancelled all the foreign aid that is given to countries. So what do you think about all that? Well, it's not coming away from Starr Radio UK. Rubio demands Panama reduce China influence over canal. Okay, we'll be telling you more about that. Now, if Panama decides that, look, we want China to invest in our infrastructure there, so that virtually they need big loans or grants or whatever, and go to China and doing that, like what is happening in most African countries, and then we have the Chinese managing some of their reasons because they are supposed to get their loans, or that is what we mortgaged, okay, and they are doing the same there. You will not give them. They go to another person to give them, and you are saying, hey, we're going to be coming for it. Well, but Rubio is saying that it's demanding that Panama reduces China's influence. Is it because of China's influence that they are scared of, or because of the tariff that they are taking for the canal, so that any ship that crosses, the amount of their tariff that they are taking from there is too high? Is that what is concerned about? Let us know. It will be lovely to know your thoughts there. Now, crucial highway cut off as Australian floods worsen. What is causing all these floods? What is causing it? Okay, we're talking more about that. In Syria, a car bomb blast in northern Syria has killed 15 agricultural workers. Why? Who? Well, I thought we had the Syrian leader, the then Syrian leader, what is his name again? Is it now that he left office now? I've forgotten his name. But oh, come on, somebody remind me the name of the Syrian leader who was being overthrown just less than about a month or two ago. Assad. Yes, I got it. Assad. Now, Assad, virtually was chased out. Let me put it that way, literally. And then now we thought that the new regime that has come in, we know there are splinter groups or bodies that are all part of. They've also taken various places. But to go on to a point where now there are bomb blasts and stuff like that, it's quite worrying. That means there's no peace there. But we'll tell you more about all that as the program goes on. Starr Radio UK Global Trotting on the morning show. Trump threatens to cut funding for South Africa over land policy. Now you see what I'm talking about? So if African leaders are not going to be coming together to look at things, then we are making our own bed and we're going to be lying in it. So I say, oh, leave the lands for the Caucasians, yeah, okay. And you, the blacks, just do whatever the menial thing that you are doing, the land policy thing, because they are saying that, look, the lands originally belong to the Africans, right? Good. Now, they use underhand dealings and all sorts to take those lands from the indigenes, okay? Now that got into a point where the government is trying to give a fair share so everybody can have some. They said that because of the land grabbing thing, he's going to be imposing sanctions on South Africa. We're going to be talking a land policy. So we're going to be talking more about that. Trump says he ordered airstrikes on Islamic State group in Somalia. Okay, we'll see about that as well. There's some stories making the round. People are afraid. Visit DR Congo city under rebel control. Okay, and shelling at busy Sudanese market fills mortuary with bodies. Well. Interesting developments there. But still coming from the African continent. Now, Egypt rejects displacement, unveils Gaza reconstruction plan. Well, they said they're not going to be taking anybody from there permanently. They can come for treatment. They can a bit of respite, but they will have to go back. But what do you think? Burkina Faso issues first AES passport amid regional changes. Well. But they are saying that if any citizen of Burkina Faso is traveling in the West Africa sub-region, the sub-region should allow, if provided they are using the ECOWAS passport. Okay. Those are some of the stories making the rounds there. It's all coming away from Starr Radio UK. In Nigeria, why we may further increase electricity tariff, the federal government is saying, as if the people have not had enough of the torture that they are going through. Atiku Pitorobi Amechi will be worse than Jonathan Buhari. Tinubu, APC chieftain, is saying. How would you know that? And then what Tinubu tests popularity in 2027. Presidency challenges Atiku Obi Amechi R5. Well, let's see. There is an adage in the Ghanaian parlance that says that your source, the source for the meal that we're going to be eating, that determines how good the people that you have around will be working for you or be supporting you. So let's see what is going to happen there. In Ghana, students in viral machete bullying video handed over to police. Of course, they have to do so. What is causing them hard? Well, we know that schools have. I remember back in the day when we were in the boarding school. Let me say good morning to all Nisek people. Yeah, that's why I started my secondary school, Nifa Secondary School. And then in a Duke room, very nice place, very cold, I love the weather there, but I don't like the heat. Okay, so you look at all that and it's saying that we'll go in with our machetes because we have to go and be winning. So whatever the students were doing and they have recorded it, well, they said they have been handed over to the police. What were they saying? Do you have a clue to that? Share it with us and we will also learn from it, right? Okay. I was reluctant to go into politics due to my father's traumatic experience. That's what Mahama is saying. But now, he's in his second tenure of office. How will it all pan out for him? Another prayer has made Hardcastle look very good. And then Wontumi will face the law if found guilty of illegal mining. Frank Amwakohene is saying, Well, Amakahene seems to be saying lots of things there, but I'm going to be telling you more about that. Multi-million-dollar Excel Coral investment, Awaso business, houses. I think your market reveals how he became rich. Well, so he's rich. Okay, now how he built his fortune with $15 million in bank loans. Well. Okay, did he use influence to do it? Oh well, is it business? What do you call it? Business proposals that he presented that was good. It's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, Blackwell's Oral team used drones to spy on my properties. That's what Afenyo Makin is saying. And Ghana interoperable digital payment system hailed Africa's countries urge to emulate. Well, if you are doing good, why not? We'll praise you for that. GFA bans Sotreman home venue identified indefinitely. Tax DCOP Lydia Donko to lead investigation. So that investigation is going to be going on. We're going to be telling you more about all that as we go on. But this and a lot more going to be coming your way. It is Starr Radio UK. But for now, we're going to be listening to some music. The first one for the day. And this is from Atta Kofi. And he says what? Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Of course, if you don't open your eyes, how can you see? Enjoy it. I'll be with you. Good morning once again to Eben all the way in Cape Town, South Africa. Well, he was sending me the answer. The question that I asked the former Syrian president is Bashar al-Assad. He gave me the full name. I said al-Assad, but he said he gave me the full name, Bashar al-Assad. Thank you, Kwame.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Okay, let me take this opportunity to say good morning to Atta Kofi, whose voice we're hearing in the background there saying, open your eyes. Open your eyes. Of course, if you don't open your eyes, how can you spot the fortunes that is all around you? You'll be crying because your tears are blurring your sight and you cannot see nothing. And therefore, even when it's before you, you're not even able to identify it. But whatever it is, it's a word of advice to all of us. Open your eyes, and thank you very much to each and every one of you who is joining us this morning. Atakovi, good morning, and to the chief of Ashaman, Master, good morning to you, Ni, and then to all the inhabitants of Ashaman. I promise them that when I land in Accra, Ghana, I'm going to make sure I pay you a courtesy call. Ni wants to really see me, and I'm going to be there to have a chat with him. All right then, ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK. Now let's bring you the details of the stories making the rounds this morning, starting from home here in the UK. Now, Ofsted has unveiled its new report cards for school inspections, but head teachers are warning the plan's risks replicating the worst aspect of the current system. The School Inspectorate for England is consulting on the proposal after it scrapped the single word judgment last year. Now, Ofsted boss Sir Martin Oliver, said the report cards to be introduced in the autumn will help parents to better distinguish between schools across areas like attendance, inclusion, behavior, and leadership. But Professor Julia Waters, whose sister Ruth Perry took her own life after an Ofsted inspection, said it appeared to be a rehash of the discredited and the dangerous system it is meant to replace. The changes follow a major public debate around Ofsted after a coroner ruled that an inspection contributed to the death of the primary school head teacher, Mrs. Perry, in 2023. Was she having a mental health breakdown, a meltdown or something? Was there some undertone? Were there some pressures behind the scenes that nobody knows before this came on and then she took her life? Because how many teachers have been? How many head teachers have been? How many of them had had a very bad report back in the day? But how have they all been able to survive? Now, others are saying that, look, let us have that a bit of flexibility there. Soft. Okay? Now, in a soft, it's not going to actually paint the real picture of what is happening in the school. And then I want to take my word to that particular school. I might be misled to think that that school is a good school. And I take my word in there. And then, you know what is happening. Okay? So, we want the real thing. If you're a parent, you want to know what is actually going on in there. So, I don't know what they want. So, we want to say, yeah, okay, we're not going to be using one word that's a bad, worse. No. So, we're going to say, it is bad, but there's room for, okay, they did well here and did well there. That is what the new Ofsted policy is going to be, or the recommendation that has been given to them. But they are saying that they want more. But if you're a parent listening to me this morning, what do you think about that? Do you think that will suffice you? You think it's okay? You think that, well, whatever it is, so far as the head teacher is okay and I don't mind my child is going to school, is that what you want? Don't you want the best for your child? Don't you want to see whether attendance? Don't you want to see discipline? Don't you want to see what? Okay, so let us know. You can text it in. You can post it on our platform in which we are broadcasting on, and promise for sure I'm gonna share it. Okay, Starr Radio UK. In another story making the rounds, Keir Starmer is heading to Brussels to join a gathering of European Union leaders, the first time a British Prime Minister has done so since Brexit. Now, Starmer is heading over the English Channel for talks focused on defense and security cooperation, and will also meet NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte. Now, the trip is part of what he calls a reset between the UK and the European Union. The government has promised that the UK will not rejoin the EU single market or customs union or sign up to freedom of movement. But ministers do want what they see as a better relationship on defense and security, crime and trade. They hope to sort this out by the spring and finalize it at a UK-EU summit, possibly in April or May. Now, leaders of the European Union, 27 member states, are gathering for what it described as an informal retreat at the Palais de Gnon in Brussels, a 16th century palace in the heart of the Belgian capital. The backdrop is clear: the ongoing war in Ukraine and the return of Donald Trump to the White House. The EU acknowledges it needs to take greater responsibility for its own defense, a key and recurring demand of President Trump as he threatens the bloc with import taxes or tariffs. The Prime Minister said President Trump has threatened more sanctions on Russia, and it's clear that that's got Putin rattled. We know that he is worried about the state of the Russian economy. I'm here to work with our European partners on keeping up the pressure targeting their energy revenues and the companies supplying his missile factories to crash Putin's war machine. Because ultimately, alongside our military support, that is what will bring peace closer. Trump promised that when he comes into office, less than 2 days, there will be a change. However, it's not been. So what exactly is happening there? Quite an interesting one, right? Okay. It is not coming away from Star Radio UK. Now, what do you want? What do you expect? Should the UK go into that negotiation with the EU, having a single market thing, a common market thing, but maybe fall short of, signing any agreement for the freedom of movement, which we know that actually brought about the Brexit, because people were thinking people were just moving from the continent, coming in here, and there was that free movement, and they didn't want that. They think that people who were coming from the continent were taking their jobs, and you know. Well, so what do you think about all that? Lots more going to be coming your way from there. It's Star Radio UK. Now, Bill Gates is saying that he also has given up to $100 billion away, but he's saying his children are not going to be poor when he is gone. Why? It's towards the end of our the interview, new members numbers on how much his charitable foundation has spent in efforts to combat preventable diseases and reduce poverty. Now it says in the quote, I've given over 100 billion, he says, but I still have more to give. That's dollars, just to clarify, worth about 80 billion. Now, it is roughly equivalent to the size of Bulgarian economy or the cost of building the whole HS2 line. But to put it in context, it is also around the same as just 1 year of Tesla sales. Now, Tesla owner Elon Musk is now the richest man on the planet, a position Gates held for many years. The co-founder of Microsoft and his fellow philanthropist Warren Buffett are combining their billions through the Gates Foundation he originally set up with his now ex-wife Melinda. Gates says philanthropy was instilled in him earlier on. His mother regularly told him, with wealth came the responsibility to give it away. His foundation 25th anniversary is in May, and Gates exclusively reveals the 100 billion figure to reporters. That's quite a good one there. But people took a swipe at him during the COVID time, saying that he's one of the ones who are orchestrating that, the white, black people and all those things that they were saying back in the day. And I was asking myself the question, why would he do that? But it is not coming away from Star Radio UK. Let's go to the US. Now, Donald Trump says the U.S. will definitely, as he would say, impose trade tariffs on the EU after announcing them on Canada, Mexico, and China. The 25% import tax on goods from Canada and Mexico and 10% on goods from China begins tomorrow. Now, as if the EU was next, President Trump says it will definitely happen, but suggests a deal can be worked out with the UK. Now, stock markets fell in Asia during Monday's trade, while European markets dropped shortly after opening, with car makers particularly affected. Now, if countries start introducing tit-for-tat measures, inflation could rise, and there may be a trickle-down effect on business and consumer confidence, an online broker has been saying. But Trump has given a range of reasons for imposing the tariffs, including border security, inflows of drugs, and trade deficit. But Canada has already introduced a retaliatory tariff. Anthony, how do you think that's going to pan out from the US for you guys there? Is it good? Are you going to feel good about it? Or is it that, it's nothing, we shouldn't go that way at all? Now, car makers shares have dropped across Asia and Europe as manufacturers prepare for the impact. Now, shops in Canada are urging customers to buy Canadian as US products are pulled from shelves. And Canada says it will also impose 25% retaliatory tariffs on the US. Mexico has announced it's preparing similar tariffs on US goods. Meanwhile, China says to take necessary countermeasures. Now, what about Africa? What are we doing? Developing country, what are we doing? With all these threats, are we just waiting, sitting down? Oh, even the foreign aid, he said he's cancelled it. So what do you think? Well, this all coming away from Starr Radio UK. Now remember Trump saying or asserting that he is going to take over the Panama Canal. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio has demanded that Panama makes immediate changes to what he called the influence and control of China over the Panama Canal. America's top diplomat said Panama must act or the U.S. will take necessary measures to protect its rights under treaty between the two countries. The warning followed President Trump's vow to retake the canal and the meeting between Rubio and Jose Raul Molino, Panama's conservative president, in Panama City on Sunday. My apologies. The two men appeared to emerge from their 2-hour meeting with different interpretations. Molino told reporters he did not see a serious threat of U.S. military force to seize the canal, saying he had proposed technical level talks with the U.S. to address Mr. Trump's concern about China's influence. However, Trump's vows to retake the canal has sparked a significant backlash in Panama. Protesters in Panama City on Friday burned effigies of Trump and Rubio. Now, riot police moved in another crowd of demonstrators firing tear gas and wrestling people away. The clashes were small scale, but the resistance to the U.S. president's stance is widely felt. On Thursday, Molino said the issue of the canal's ownership will not be up for discussion with Rubio. I cannot negotiate or even open a negotiation process about the canal. It is sealed. The canal belongs to Panama, he said. This is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Still on that front, some of Trump's threats, and this time round to South Africa. Now, U.S. President Donald Trump has said he will cut all future funding to South Africa over allegations that it was confiscating land and treating certain classes of people very badly. Which classes of people is he talking about there? Last month, President Cyril Ramaphosa signed into law a bill that allows land seizure without compensation in certain circumstances. Now, landowners has long been a contentious issue in South Africa, and most private farmland owned by white people 30 years after the end of the racist system of apartheid. There have been continuous calls for the government to address land reform and deal with the past injustices of racial segregation. Now, South Africa's president responded to Trump by post on X. South Africa is a constitutional democracy that is deeply rooted in the rule of law, justice and equality. The South African government has not confiscated any land. He added that the only funding South Africa received from the U.S. was through the health initiative PEPFAR, which represented 70% of South Africa's HIV/AIDS program. The U.S. allocated about $440 million in assistance to South Africa in 2023, according to U.S. government data. Elon Musk, who was born and grew up in South Africa and is now a Trump advisor, has also joined in the debate, saying the new law discriminated against white people. Why do you have openly racist ownership laws? Mr. Musk said to Ramaphosa in a post on X. Now, on Sunday, Trump wrote on the social media platform Truth Social, I will be cutting off all future funding to South Africa until a full investigation of the situation has been completed. Now, he later said in the briefing with journalists that South Africa's leadership is doing some terrible things, horrible things. So that's under investigation right now. We'll make a determination until such time as we find out South Africa is doing. They're taking away land and confiscating land, and actually they're doing things that are perhaps far worse than that. Well, another speculation there. Has it got any truth in there? That's another question. But this Starr Radio UK at 11:41. Got another 19 minutes that I will take you to Cyprus, where our own HRH Linda Pallien is to bring you everything that you need to know pertaining to what? Pertaining to your career. Now, on the in Syria, at least 15 people, 14 of them women, have been killed in a car bomb attack on a vehicle transporting agricultural workers in northern Syria, first responder has said. Now, another 15 women were wounded by the blast on the outskirts of the city of Manbij, east of Aleppo, according to Syria's civil defense agency, also known as the White Helmets. It says some of the wounded were in a critical condition and warned that the death toll might rise. There was no immediate claim from any armed groups for the bombing, which was the deadliest since rebel forces overthrew President Bashar al-Assad in December. It was also the second car bomb attack in Manbij in only 3 days. On Saturday, 2 children and a woman were among 4 people killed by an explosion on a street in the city, the Syria Civil Defense said. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, a UK-based monitoring group, reported that the blast was near a military position, that 9 people were killed, including several pro-Turkish fighters. Now, since the collapse of the Assad regime, Manbij and its surrounding areas have seen intense clashes between Turkish-backed Syrian National Army factions and the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces, which is supported by the US. The SNA launched an offensive to capture territory west of the river Euphrates, which the SDF has held since driving out the jihadist group Islamic State. The SNA took control of Manbij on the 9th of December after fighters from the SDF-affiliated Manbij Military Council withdrew. But since then, the SDF has been carrying out a counter-offensive. So where is al-Bashar? Where is he? Bashar al-Assad, okay? Where is he? Because if he's living, Syria is not, you get a hot, you get a sunshine, you get a mixture of mixed bag, as Yomi would say, there. However, now that it's in Russia, now it's cold there, very, very cold. How is he missing home? This is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So is there going to be any peace in Syria at all with everything that is happening at the moment? It's quite an interesting one. Yeah? Well, but it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's come to some other African stories. The hospitals in Goma are struggling to cope following fierce fighting with Rwanda-backed rebels, which has seen hundreds of people killed. Kisheru Hospital beds are full of patients with traumatic injuries. Prince Mogazi had a bullet wound to the leg and had to be carried by healthcare workers around the wards. The soldiers asked me for money and I told them I had nothing. Then they fired bullets on that one that hit me and another missed. He said, not clarifying who the soldiers were fighting for. Now, I've been saying the sub-regional body SABC, yeah, and the AU, what are they doing about it? Can't they call the leaders of these factions to order? Or they're just yap, no teeth? They can bite? Well, it's all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, we're going to move on straight to one other. Now, in Burkina Faso, Captain Ibrahim Traoré has made history as the first person to receive the newly introduced AES passport. Just days after Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali celebrated their official exit from the West African Economic and Monetary Union, ECOWAS. The symbolic moment comes at a time of significant political and economic shifts in the region. The new AES passport is seen by many as a step towards strengthening unity among the three countries, especially in light of their departure from the ECOWAS. So, let's put it this way. Should I don't know what the citizens of these three countries really want at the moment. Okay, so touch wood. So should there be any uprising or anything again and change in government, and then somebody comes and say we got to go back to join the ECOWAS? Are they going to now come back to change the passport again? So virtually, just on the like they just we move the citizens here, and then the moment is that what is going to happen there? Have they actually thought it through properly? But of course, if they think that the sub-regional body is threatening them, and they think the only way to make sure that they are formidable and they can have one agenda, one grip, and then move ahead and quash the indecent, that is, or the insurgency that is going on in their area, then why not? Because they are there serving the interests of their own people. Then again, I do say this all the time, that when the various leaders in these countries were sitting there and were not doing what is desired of them or what is required of them, what were the leaders of the ECOWAS saying? So is it just, everybody just do whatever it is, and then the next moment when the citizens think that, look, we cannot take this, in quotes, nonsense any longer, and decide to just show them the door, then we have the various leaders or the sub-regional bloc coming in to say, hey, you cannot be doing that. You have to reinstate the democratically elected government. What did they actually do? Let me say good morning to Mr. Kofi Ali Abdul-Yakin, who is saying that whatever is going on there is all crazy, and the fact that the Burkina Faso leader was even allowed to visit Ghana was a below the belt incident that shouldn't have even happened at all. But what do you think about that? If he's standing for his people, and his people love to hear and see what he's doing, fighting for them, why not? This is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. The Grammy Awards, Nigeria Thames won Africa's Music Performance Grammy. And let's say congratulations to her. She won from the Love Me JJ from her debut album Born in the Wild. Okay? Well, I think, what do we call her? The conservative leader, Badenoch. I think she would love that. Born in the World. To say, yeah, they say the Nigerians are born in the world, or we are all in the world. Okay. From Nigeria as well. The presidency has issued a challenge to opposition leaders attacking President Bola Tinubu to wait till 2027. Now, President Bola Tinubu's special advisor on media and public communications, Sunday Dare, said opposition leaders like former presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi of the Labour Party, Rabiu Kwankwaso of the New Nigerian People's Party, Nasser El-Rufai and Rotimi Amechi should wait till 2027 to test the popularity against the president. Dare noted that the activities of the opposition leaders were premature. In a post on X, Dare wrote, while the president was seeking solutions to Nigeria's energy problems in Dar es Salaam, some wannabes were hitting up the polity. Dare added, this is 2025, not 2027. Let those who want to test the popularity of Nigeria with Nigerians wait for the next election. The Daily Post recalls that recent Atiku and El-Rufai and Amechi had launched criticism against Tinubu and his All Progressive Congress-led administration at an event in Abuja. Atiku had accused the Tinubu-led APC of bribing opposition leaders with 50 million naira each. Atiku claimed that the money was aimed at disorganizing the opposition leaders. On his part, El-Rufai said he no longer recognizes the APC due to lack of internal democracy. El-Rufai said APC organs have not met in the last 2 years. I no longer recognize the APC. No party organ has met in 2 years. No caucus. No net. Nothing. You don't even know if it is a one-man show, is a zero-man show, he said. Similarly, Amechi called for a brutal force to take over power from President Tinubu in 2027 because the president will not willingly give up. Really? Okay, let's see. Well, we live in a democracy, and I don't see Tinubu to be one of those who will do so. Or, what do you think? This is all coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to be going to Ghana, but if you want to join in the conversation, feel free to do so. Call us on 0208 133 2257 or text me on 0753-966-1744, 0753-966-1744, or our X handle is at Starr Radio UK. Email is info@starradiouk.com. Just do so, and I promise you for sure I'm gonna be there. All right, then. If you want to Skype, feel free to do so as well. But you can post all your comments on the very platform that we are broadcasting on, and for sure I'm going to read that. Okay, so in the latter part of the first part of the program, and we move on to Ghana. The Ashanti Regional Minister, Dr. Frank Amwakuhene, says the new Patriotic Party Ashanti Regional Chairman Entry Bosiako, also known as Wontumi, will be prosecuted if found guilty of illegal mining. Now, Konta Mining Company Limited, owned by Bernard Entry Bosiako, has been reported to be operating illegally in the Nimri Tunnel Forest Reserve in the Amenfi West municipality of the Western region. According to the government's report, the mining company has a lease to undertake mining operations in some parts of the Summer Boy, but the company has no liberty to undertake any mining operation in the Tunnel Nimri Forest Reserve. Speaking on, he said that Mr. Makohin expressed that if anyone is found guilty of illegal mining, regardless of their social status, they will face the full force of the law. Any person in a court, he said, who is found to be associated with any illegal activities whatsoever, irrespective of your class in society, definitely we will not let you go scot-free, he said. Was he undertaking illegal mining so that the areas or the lands, the various places that have been allocated to him, did he take a lot more on just to make it, as some would say? Well, it is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. Let me say good morning to my sister Delta, all the way in Ghana. Hemet, good morning to you, Mom. This is Vida Hammond. Good morning. And a special good morning to Rosie, all the way in the US. It was lovely talking to you on Saturday. Knowing that everyone is doing very, very well. My love to you, my baby. All right. Now, let's move on. In other stories, the Member of Parliament for Bolza South, Dr. Clement Apak, says President John Mahama's move for National Education Forum is commendable. President John Dramani Mahama has appointed an 8-member committee to organize the National Educational Forum, fulfilling his pledge to the people of Ghana. In a statement signed by the acting spokesperson to the President, Felix Kwakye Ofosu, disclosed that the committee will be chaired by former Pro Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Professor George K.T. Odro. Other members are Professor Goski Alabi, Professor Rosemary Bozu, Samuel Awuku, and Professor Smile ZC. The rest are Kofi Asare, Seven Owusu, and Inuza Shiraz. In a tweet, the Bolza South lawmaker explained that the president said to build Ghana, we want agenda is unfolding in the education sector. What is going to happen there? Are we going to continue to have the free education? Free SHS? Is that what they call it? Yes. Is it SHS? Yeah. Some of us old school. We just knew the secondary schools. Yeah, no SHS, nothing. Okay, so are they going to now say no more free SHS, or let's go back to the one that we were doing GCO level, so that competitively I will be able to meet all the demands in other parts of the world? Oh, what is going to happen there? Because it looks like we don't have a national agenda, and therefore this one comes and says we're going to do it this way, and then another one comes and says no, we have to do it that way. So maybe having a national forum of that sort, educational forum of that sort, will help us, and that should be captured in our national agenda. And despite and in spite of any president or government come into power, I believe that these individuals will see to run with a particular policy rather than coming in with their own thing and just throwing everything out. And so our students, our children are found in limbo. They just go helter skelter. Nobody knows exactly what is happening. Today we are doing that, tomorrow we are doing that. Let me say good morning to Mavis. Mavis Ekufu. Good morning to you, May. It's been a while. You're not getting in touch, eh? Okay. I'll get in touch once I finish the program. Hope you are doing very, very well. I love to Tete and the family. All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, Starr Radio UK. We've got another 3 minutes to cross over to Cyprus, where we're going to be having our own HRH, Linda Pallien, bringing you Career 101. Okay. Now, the final story. And this round, I'm trying to be okay. Now, I always say, it doesn't fault me, whatever it is, if I'm stopped at the place saying, let's see that. Okay? I'll just get on with it. Well, if I know I'm not carrying anything in my car or anything, though it's uncomfortable when you're going through those things. Especially, I remember back in the day when once I was stopped on the M23. Was with some of my colleagues, and I did say I was driving a car that we were supposed to be working on, and therefore we took it to Gatwick to go and drop off some cars. And on our way back, this car was said to have been stolen. And when the police found it, they brought it to our company for us to work on changing the locks and stuff, the key and all that bit there. And then it happened that as we were driving, I think when they didn't log in on the police system that the car had been found. And therefore, whilst we were driving, the police just in a Rambo style. That was a proper Rambo style, serious one, boy. Oh boy. I don't want to. But we'll talk about that one later. One day. And then it happened that, but I stopped. I didn't have anything to hide. They asked me, "There's work, yeah. Where is your?" And I said, we're just going to drop something, a car, and then we're just taking this one back to there. They interviewed all of us, and they said, "Book, go." So if a Fenya Markin is saying that Okujato Ablakwa is flying a drone over his property or his house, private property, and saying that he thinks that he is intruding, I don't have anything to hide. You can fly whatever there. So far as you're not disturbing me with your noise and stuff like that, fine. And not coming into my bedroom or in my bathroom to see what I'm doing and stuff like that. I don't give a hoot about it. But when I have something to hide, then it come a bit worrying. Cut my drift? But maybe I'm looking at it from a different perspective. And you see it from a different perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Starr Radio UK. This is why I bring the first part of the program to close. We're going to be bringing you Career 101 after this short break. So wherever you are, just stay tuned. Don't touch the dial. This is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Career 101. Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
The problem of Africa is the elite.
Okay, Star Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, and we have HR Linda Pallien, where this afternoon we are looking at some interview questions. You have to be going to interviews or going for interviews. And what are some of the questions that you have to prepare yourself for? Stay tuned and let's have it. It's a pre-recorded one. Stay tuned.
I think we're still in 30s. Oh. 27 now.
Oh, yeah, 27? Yeah, I can tell you that London, we are 29.
You can get asked that opener questions, and that you'll get asked within the first few minutes that your interview starts. An opener question is to set the tone. It gives you an overview of how they would like the interview to go. And it's your time to shine and express yourself, because it's a relatively easy question, usually about you, so you're the expert on you, and you can set the tone by going in very casual and relaxed. So an example of an opener question will be, tell us a bit about yourself. That's an open question, so it's not a yes or no answer. It's fairly broad. They have your resume, your CV, your cover letter. So ideally, you wouldn't go into just only saying what's in the CV and the cover letter. A lot of people do that. Oh, I studied here, I've done this job experience, but the interviewer knows all of that. You can highlight the key experiences, the key skills that you have, but ideally telling them something else that's outside the scope of a CV would help them to get to know you more. You know, this is where you're supposed to be at ease, so you can include your hobbies, you can include some of your extracurricular stuff that you've done, or just personality and value traits as well, to paint a rounded picture about you. So if you get asked, tell me a bit about yourself, this is generally what your interviewer is looking for, what your interests are, what your passions are, and just to put you at ease and set the tone of the interview. Now, if you're in the situation and you're still very nervous and you've even prepped this question and you're uncomfortable, your discomfort makes the interviewers, however many of them there are, also uncomfortable, because on the one question where you're the expert, you're still nervous, so you can't break the ice easily, and it sets the tone for the rest of the interview. So definitely, if you're asked that, definitely prepare for this question in advance. And I always say that with these questions, you can prepare in advance, write your answers down, know exactly what you're going to say, and it helps you just to be prepared. So that's an opener question, an example of an opener question. And then the second type of interview question you'll have are competency questions. Competency questions are testing your knowledge on certain skills we call competencies in the career field. And competencies are, an example of that is leadership, maybe communication, team working skills. So this will be, tell me an example of a time when you've successfully worked within a team, for example. That's a competency question. And by the framing of the question, you can see that we're looking for an example, a scenario. We want you to build a picture. Because it's well and good to say on your CV, I have great leadership skills. But an example is even better. So in your interview, regardless of what job you're going for, you will be asked at least one competency question. And the best way to do this is to paint a clear and accurate picture which depicts your particular involvement and showcasing that skill. So for example, tell me a time when you've exhibited good team working skills. I always say that you can use a Starr or Carl format. And if you don't know what that is, read my book.
Yes, that's a good one.
Yeah. But in short, a Starr or Carl format will help you to phrase your answers in a way that's that paints a picture. STAR, S stands for situation. So within the context of my previous job, or the situation was we had a new project and I was elected team leader for it. So you paint the picture. That's what the S in STAR stands for. T is the task. What was the task about? So we had to put together this new team or do this new project. A is action. What action did you specifically do within the teamwork? Even though the question's about teamwork, you're the one being interviewed, so we want to know your particular involvement in it, what particular role you took within the team to have that outcome. And then the R in STAR is result. That's the STAR form, a situation, task, action, results. So when you use that framework, you're able to paint a clear picture. But that's a quick overview about it. If you want to know more, you can definitely get in touch. But that's how to answer a competency question that will showcase the skill that is being asked. The other type of question you can be asked in an interview is a motivation question. A motivation question. So that is, why do you want this job? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Why did you apply to this company? These are testing your motivation, your reason why you're here, and to see if you're a great fit for the company. So ideally, you would have thought about these questions beforehand. A lot of people by default will say, oh, because you're an international company and you have a great ethos or whatever it is, rattle something from their website. That might get you a pass depending on their job interview, but you want to do a lot more to showcase your intent that this was deliberate rather than I saw that you were hiring and I just applied. So the more detailed you can be about what your motivation is, the better it looks to an interviewer. So, for example, I noticed that your team has taken part in this project, and that aligns with my values, and I wanted to work for this company. Or having established yourself over blah blah blah, you've achieved this, and try and be as specific to the team as you're going to be working with. For example, if you went for a multinational company and say you won an award for corporate sustainability, for example, and the team you're involved with wasn't involved in that award or doesn't really embody sustainability as the overall company does, you won't build the rapport that you need in that interview. So make sure that you do the research to get as close to the job description or the team that you're going to be working with. That will stand you in good stead rather than talking about the company as a whole. We know from your work experience that sometimes the manager or the visionaries goal for the team, for the business, is not always what happens on the ground. You want to be able to relate as much as possible to the people or the team that you're working with, or people who are doing the job. Okay, so we've had open-up questions, competency questions, and motivation questions. I hope you're following so far.
Yes, we are following closely.
So the next question you will get asked in interviews is a fit question. And again, talking about niching it down to the team that you'll be working with. Are you a great fit for the team? So an example of this question will be, what working environment brings the best in you? And with these, you want to be as honest as possible. It's called a fit for a reason. If it's not a great fit for you, you can't fake it. It'll just be a short-term employment for you. So ideally, you'd be as honest as possible. Thanks to the pandemic, a lot of people have tried working from home or some sort of remote working. So at least now we have an overview of what working in the office is like, what working remotely is like. So you can be able to give a well-rounded answer, or maybe a hybrid environment where you're doing some days in the office and some days at home. And why that is for you. And when you're answering this question, you want to talk about perhaps your personal circumstance as well. Actually, being able to knuckle down in my home office makes me more productive. And that in turn means that I can do more work for the company. You always want to speak to their listening.
Mm-hmm.
So if it makes you more productive, why is it a benefit for them? Or being part of a team and working in the office and being available for people to ask questions brings out the best of the teamwork, and it helps with team cohesiveness, and that's the environment I work best in. We'll also, depending on what role you're applying for, will help them to fit you in the right environment. Avoid the generic, oh, I'm flexible, because it doesn't say too much. Of course, you can say that you're flexible after showing a preference, of course. But if you're asked, try and pick a side.
Okay.
And then the fifth question that you might be asked, type of question you might be asked, is a self-awareness question. A self-awareness question. And I particularly love these when I'm interviewing, because it really it puts the candidate on the spot, but it also tells you a lot about the candidate. So, for example, a self-awareness question is to showcase if you can be self-reflective and honest. So, what is your biggest weakness, for example? It's an example of a self-awareness question. And you want to see if they're self-aware, they understand their weaknesses and strengths, what they've done about it as well, their weaknesses and strengths, and if you can corroborate the story or not. You know, a lot of times when I've been interviewing people, and a lot of people again stick to the generic answers they'll find online, and they'll say maybe my biggest weakness is that I work too hard on myself, or whatever it is, or I have too much attention to detail. And then you're like, well, your CV is full of mistakes, so I know that's not true. Or you haven't even answered the question properly, so that attention to detail isn't true. You really want to be honest, but in a way that doesn't harm your chances of getting that particular position. And if it does, then it probably isn't the right position for you. Okay. That a lot of creatives will say, I like to get everything perfect, and that's usually true of creatives. So that can be forgiven, but how then do you mitigate that? Do you finish on time and then check stuff, or do you give yourself enough time to complete the project? But the more open you can be, the better it will be to place you in the right position for you in the long term. And then finally, what I've dubbed trick questions. They're not really trick questions, but for want of a better word, I call them trick questions in the book. And you may have heard these, or maybe experienced these yourself. These are the sort of Google type questions. I think Google was the first company to make them very popular in the HR space. And you can have examples of, if you were an animal, what animal would you be and why? Or if you were shrunk to the size of a penny and put in a blender, and the blender was going to start in 2 seconds, explain how you would get out.
Wow.
Or how many trees are there per a square mile in the Amazon? Something like that. And these are called trick questions because they're not the most, there isn't a right or wrong answer.
Okay.
But it's to show your thought process. For example, the Amazon question, how would you go about that critical thinking? How would you go about even making an educated guess about how many trees there are? Or if you're an animal, what animal would you be? Shows maybe some of the subconscious personality traits that you may have. When we talk about workplace personalities, we have like a fox, you have a lion, you have the trustworthy mules.
Yeah.
And if you haven't looked at workplace personalities. Find out which one you are. Again, it's trying to see what personalities will fit in what environment in the workplace. So think about these questions beforehand, and the more familiar you are with these questions, the less likely you are to be stunned about them. I always use myself for example. I think one of my interview questions straight after graduation, I got asked if I was a flavor of a crisp, what flavor would I be? And I had no idea about this stuff at the time.
I feel I said salt and sugar.
I say answering, I don't eat crisps because I don't.
Oh my.
But then I ended up saying, well, what I do have is dried mango because it's sweet and it's good.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
There. But it did during my career coaching training. It made me laugh when I actually understood the meaning of these questions. Understanding some of these trick questions will really help you in an interview to be prepared, but also not to be nervous or to be faced by it. So I can imagine if you've never heard of these, it can be quite daunting. You know, oh, well, how would I know? And then you get stuck. And if it helps, by the way, with the sort of critical thinking questions like the Amazon, you can talk through, actually it's advisable to talk through your thinking process. So you can say, in a square mile, if we say the average size of a tree is X amount of centimeters on whatever measuring system you use, then in a square mile, I can imagine that you fit X amount in. Therefore, and then I estimate that there will be this many amount of trees. It just shows your thinking process and you remember in high school math the process of your work, and even if you don't get the right answer,
at least they know that you were thinking through it.
Exactly. So that would be another way to do it. Even if the answer is completely far off, it will show how you thought about it.
Okay. Wow, listeners. Career 101 with HRH Linda Pallien, and today we've been looking at types of interview questions. Now that we know, because of the COVID and people losing jobs, and all staff, that we know that people will be going for applying for various jobs, and interviews is something that you cannot do without. But if you're having a problem with any issue there, that is what we've discussed today. But you will have the details when you have Linda's book. You go through them and it will give you everything that you need to know. It's virtually like holding your hands to the interview panel and then you coming out successfully. That is exactly what the book promises to deliver. So it is not only peculiar to the UK, across the globe, wherever you go and you're supposed to be in an interview, these are skills that you will need on that floor. But it is Starr Radio UK. Let me ask you just a quick one, and then we can bring the discussion to a close. Now, that's the fit question. You know, it is like you were saying, someone might try to impress because I want to be accepted. So they might say things that actually they don't actually mean it, but under the situation, because they are desperate, they want it. Now, how should they prepare themselves in that case then?
There is an outright lie, and then there is bending the truth.
Bending the truth and outright lie. Okay, that's a good one.
Hopefully you shouldn't be super keen to impress, because an interview is a two-way process. It should be right for you as you are for them. But if you find yourself in the situation where you feel you're desperate for this job, you can figure out things that you could improve on that are not detrimental to the job, and then talk about it in a way that is true to you.
Okay.
So you met the weaknesses, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yes. So, for example, if you were looking for a job as maybe a warehouse laborer, and you know that you're not punctual, and they've asked you what your biggest weakness is, you could say, well, in the past, I haven't been. But what I have done now is that I set my alarm a little bit earlier, or I try to be. So that was the feedback I received in the past. And then you can show that you're aware of it and you're doing something about it. So that if you do slip up when you're hired, you did tell them, and say that you worked on it. So it's still true for you, and of course, if it's something where it's a just-in-time process, like an Amazon delivery, where you cannot afford not to be punctual, then maybe that shouldn't be the job you apply for.
Yeah. Wow, interesting. Now, one last one. With all these pointers that you've given, the various questions that you put across. Now, if somebody has, at times people get nervous when you use the icebreaker and stuff like that, but still they are nervous. You know that after the first question, still they become a bit. Do you think that people should rehearse that at home? Maybe put a chair there and then sit there, imagine that there are people there, and then try to, go through some questions, answering some questions. Do you think that's a good move?
Definitely, and I would recommend it whether you're nervous or not, because preparing gives you this confidence, knowing that you've done everything you could do, and sometimes just being in that position and being able to observe your body language or the way your voice is stuttering as you're speaking, even if there's no one in the room, because your mind, you're training your mind to believe that you're in there, in an interview situation. You might find that your voice is shaking, so then you're aware of your tics and you can do something about it before it happens. I mean, I do a lot of interview preparation for my candidates before they go out. And I definitely highly recommend it, because I'm usually the worst first interviewer they'll meet. And the interviewer they meet will probably be a lot nicer to them. But because I'm preparing them, I'm looking for everything, the body language, I'm looking at your tone of voice, the eye contact, the enthusiasm, sort of the words you use, even down to subtle nuances. You might say a lot, for example, which might which might hinder your message, or you might use words. Oh, I'm just a stay-at-home mom, or I just worked on the till. You might diminish your achievements. So by recording yourself and practicing this, when you play the film back, and definitely try and record yourself, you'll hear that maybe I say a lot, or actually I made this sound like it was nothing, but it was a big deal. And then you can change the language you use to make it more empowering and more impressive, as it should be.
Okay. Thank you very much, Linda. Listeners, I didn't hear that bit. I didn't hear the last bit.
I said I was just demonstrating the
yes. It's good. Okay, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. HRH Linda Pallien for you. We're bringing the conversation to a close. But Linda, before we go, some of your books and your contact address. Ooh, yes. So over to you. Talk about it briefly, please.
So fantastic. The careers books are out. All of the 3 books in the series are out. The first, How to Career, shows you, the first How to Career shows you how to evaluate an opportunity, whether you should be going to a career, if the career will be the right one for you or not. And it's a simple 6 steps that you can use to evaluate any business opportunity. The second book is The Career Success Tools. This is a thick book, as you can see. And this is everything you need. How to prepare for an interview, how to sell yourself, how to network if you're a shy person, how to network if you're confident, unconventional applications, everything you need to succeed and to make a lasting career, or to make an impression in your career, is contained in this book. And it's super practical. It takes you step by step, and you can sort of take what you're doing well and what you can improve on, how to handle your personal and professional social media. All of that is contained in that book. And the third one is the workbook, which you can definitely take to interviews. Today's program I've been using from this book, and it shows you job interview questions, how to ace your interview. So we talk about it, and then it gives you a place to fill out your interview questions, sort of how to handle objections, what objections might come up in your interview. And it's a super practical workbook that you can take. You can prepare all the STAR examples in here. So you can have this and take this in an interview with you, because then you'll have it plus all the questions you'll ask for the interviewer. So it's super practical, and it's thin enough so that you can take it A5 and you can take it with you in the interview. And it just shows that you're prepared and that you've invested in yourself and you've done the work. So these are all available on Amazon.com.uk and around the world, Japan, Australia, Canada. And they're super affordable books, and they're pretty much all you need. If you can't afford career coaching, this is definitely the way to go. And if you can afford career coaching, then do both. Of course.
Okay. That's good.
So that's the series.
Great. Your contact details, please.
Absolutely. You can find out more about the books and get in touch on lindapallien.com, or mychairlinda.com, which will tell you definitely a lot more about the career series and the career books. Also, you can contact me directly on my Instagram at Linda Pallien or at mychairlinda, Facebook and LinkedIn as well. Linda Pallien. Linda is spelled Linda, Pallien Pallien, or at mychairlinda, which is mycheerlinda, because I'm your cheerleader in success.
Well, she's my cheerleader, and she can be your cheerleader as well, right? Okay, so let me say thank you very much for joining in, and I hope that you enjoyed the program and you took some notes there that is applicable, that you could apply to when you go for your interviews. Of course, we are here to help you on all aspects of your life. That's what Starr Radio UK does. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm bringing the program to a close for today. Tomorrow, God willing, we're going to be coming back with another edition of the morning show. It's been a pleasure coming your way. Let me say thank you to Linda, thank you to Mr. Francis Guy, thank you to Eben all the way in South Africa, thank you to Anthony Deji Mavis, and every one of you who joined in this morning on this wonderful program. I salute you all, and I tell to all of you, have a lovely day. But let's enjoy this music now before we bring the program to a close. This from the Zongo Man and African leaders. Wake up and smell the coffee. I'm out like that. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.
The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things,
This is Starr Radio UK.
The problem of Africa is the
Thanks for listening.
who run things. Them all go to universities. Universities award them degrees. Big degrees. Degrees. Big degrees. MSc in stealing. Bachelor of Arts, mismanagement. Masters in looting. MSc in corruption. Bachelor of Science in nepotism. MSc in forgery. Bachelor of Arts in indiscipline. MSc in embezzlement. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things. The problem of Africa is the elite. Who run things.